Joining us now is our friend Alan West, President and CEO of the National Center for Policy Analysis. Of course, former Florida Congressman, retired Army Lieutenant Colonel, and author of Guardian of the Republic. Hello, sir.
How you doing, Steve?
I'm doing well. What's your take on the fact that the White House actually admitting not that the president should have been there, but that they made a mistake and someone of a higher ranking than the assistant to the assistant to the assistant of something should have actually been there?
Well, they made a horrible mistake, and the president should have been there. If the president found time to go to Nelson Mandela's funeral, if the president found time to send three White House officials to the funeral of Michael Brown out in St. Louis, he should have been there locking arms with the leaders of France, Germany, the Russian Prime Minister, England, Benjamin Netanyahu, even Mahmoud Abbas was there. And so when you wear the title of the leader of the free world, that means that you just don't use Air Force One to fly down to Knoxville, Tennessee to talk about free community college education. That means that you show leadership. And unfortunately, this was an abdication of it. And, it would have been better if Secretary of State John Kerry had just said, we blew this one, instead of coming up with this excuse and saying that people are quibbling over it, because this is something that's been heard and is reverberating across the world, and even more so, it's emboldening our enemies who just shut down and hacked into the U.S. Central Command website today.
Well, that's another thing. I mean, the fact that they claim it's ISIS that hacked into CENTCOM on so many different social media platforms, what does that say?
Well, it says that this is a total warfare, and unfortunately it seems that the only person that understands this ideology and that we have to fight against this ideology is the president of Egypt, Abdel Fattah el-Sisi. He is saying the type of things in front of the most distinguished Islamic jurisprudence university there in Cairo that our president, when he spoke in Cairo, Egypt, instead he invited the Muslim Brotherhood to be on the front two rows. So this is very disturbing and disconcerting what we see happening, that even Eric Holder, when he was pressed on two Sunday shows,
Stephanopoulos and Meet the Press,
Islamic he could not bring himself to say Islamic extremism. They continue to wish away the problem. Nadal Hassan has been convicted and sentenced, and they still classify it as workplace violence.
And Congressman, as long as we don't recognize the problem, I mean, how long have we been saying this now? For how many years? As long as we don't recognize the problem and call it what it is, this crazy summit that they're going to have is going to explore the root causes of why this happens. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, we don't need summits. This is not about violent extremism. As a matter of fact, I did some research, and it seems that this was a meeting that was scheduled in October that had been rescheduled to February anyhow. So it is not tied to what is happening. So they're trying to use this to say, see here, we're responding. The only way you respond is to come out and stand up and say, as General el-Sisi, President el-Sisi in Egypt did, that this is about the ideology. If you don't recognize the ideology, if you don't recognize this as Islamofascism, Islamic totalitarianism, Islamic terrorism, jihadism, then that's just the same as saying, well, what was World War II about? The kamikaze and the blitzkrieg? So this administration has to recognize the enemy. And I think that this is going to end up being foreign policy and national security, a more important topic than we would think come the 2016
I am
cycle.
so glad you said that, because you're coming back for the next segment, and I want to talk about 2016 and also a little bit about 2015 with the new Congress. So stay where you are, folks. Former Congressman Alan West is with us, and he will be back with more right after this on Newsmax Television. Now we continue with the President and CEO of the National Center for Policy Analysis, and of course former Florida Congressman Alan West. And by the way, Alan, you're down in the Dallas area, correct, or am I wrong?
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Yeah, well, how they taking the Cowboys loss down there?
It was rough. I mean, I was sitting with three very stout Cowboys fans, and the emotional roller coaster was way up high and way down low.
What a great game. There were so many great games over the weekend. Anyway, let's take something you said, which I think is very interesting and very important, and that is that foreign policy is bound to have much more influence and play a much bigger role in the upcoming 2016 presidency or the elections than foreign policy has in the past. How do you think that's going to affect things? And what about Mitt Romney as well?
Well, look, I think that a lot of people are realizing that this is going to be a wide open opportunity, because any candidate running on the Democrat side is going to have to, associate themselves with the policies of Barack Obama. And if they try to disregard those policies, well, then that Obama machine is not going to be very supportive of them. And that's why I think you already see a lot of courting of Elizabeth Warren. But, someone is going to have to stand up and, after this series of church Chamberlain-like decision-making, we're going to need a Churchill type of leader, because there is no strategy right now to, first of all, identify and then to meet the Islamic terrorists on the battlefield and defeat them and bring about their demise. And that's going to be important. We can do all that we can to restore this economy, but if people are afraid about their existence, if ISIS continues to grow and have this reach where, as you saw today, they can come down and hack into the social media account of the United States Central Command, and I just read the report where they have taken 21 Coptic Christian hostages from Sirte, the city in Libya, which, of course, President Obama destabilized that country due to his support of Islamists against Muammar Gaddafi. We're going to be in a world of hurt coming after these 2 years.
Absolutely. So Hillary having to answer for this, it's going to be mighty hard for her to separate herself when she was, in bed with the whole foreign policy as Secretary of State, whether it's Russia or the fight against terrorism or you name it. And so let me ask you, though, about Romney. Do you think he's going to run? And if he runs, I mean, is his campaign slogan, "I was right"?
Well, I think that has a lot to do with it. Him saying, I remember the foreign policy debate when he said that Russia was a geopolitical threat, and President Obama said that, the 80s are calling for their strategy back. So he looked like he was spot on. But, I just don't know what the reaction will be, from, of course, number one, the donor base, and number two, the grassroots movement. So I believe that between now and I would give it May time frame, you're going to see a lot of, positioning and posturing. Governor Huckabee looks like he is going to probably get into it. You still have some other governors that are sitting in office right now, like the Scott Walkers, like the John Kasichs of the world, and even Governor Rick Perry, who will probably make a venture into this as well. So the field has not settled. So right now it's very early. It's like the first quarter of a football game. You can't determine the outcome yet.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And what about where are we in the new Congress? It should be the first quarter there as well. But with the re-election of Boehner, they're going to go for Keystone, the Senate and the House. The House passed it already. The president's going to veto it. They need 4 votes in the Senate to override. I mean, is this Republican Congress going to do anything that's going to really make the base say, wow?
Well, the most important thing that they have to do is evidence who Barack Obama is. They have to show that he is the intransigent ideologue. They have to show that he's the obstructionist, because he no longer has Harry Reid to block the, I think it was almost 367 pieces of legislation. So he never had to use his veto pen because Harry Reid was his veto pen. Now we have to put the president in a position to say, whose side are you on? Are you on the side of, liberty and freedom, or the Islamic terrorists? Are you on the side of the American people and true economic recovery, or you just want to continue to run around the country talk about free community college tuition?
Right. All right. Hey, always great to talk to you, Alan. Best of luck again, as CEO of the National Center for Policy Analysis down in the Dallas area, and we'll talk to you soon, sir. Thank you, and good luck.
Thank you. Follow us at www.ncpa.org.
ncpa.org. ncpa.org. There you go, folks. Follow them.